The rain fell in sheets across the neon-lit streets of Neo-Tokyo, each droplet catching the glow of holographic advertisements that flickered against the night sky. Jox pulled his coat tighter around himself as he navigated through the crowded marketplace, his cybernetic eyes scanning the faces in the crowd out of habit. 5 years as a bounty hunter had taught him to always watch, always assess. But nothing could have prepared him for what he saw next. There, huddled beneath a crumbling overpass, was a figure he thought he'd never see again. Coraline, his breath caught in his throat. Even in her diminished state, he recognized her immediately, the elegant curve of her neck, the way her silver hair fell across her shoulders, now matted and dull. But it was her eyes that confirmed it. Those magnificent golden eyes that had once blazed with the fire of her dragon heritage. Now they were hollow, desperate, as she held out a trembling hand to passers-by who hurried past without a glance. Jox's mind reeled. The last time he'd seen Coraline, she had been radiant, powerful, a dragon shifter from one of the most prestigious clans in the Dimensional Rift territories. That was before everything fell apart, before the arguments about his dangerous work, before she'd left him with nothing but a handwritten note and the scent of smoke lingering in their apartment. He approached slowly, his footsteps barely audible over the rain. Coraline. She looked up, and for a moment, recognition flashed across her face before shame replaced it. She turned away, pulling her tattered shawl closer. "Go away, Jox." But he couldn't. He crouched down beside her, ignoring the dirty water soaking through his pants. "What happened to you? Your clan, your family, gone," she whispered, her voice cracking. "All gone." Jox felt his heart constrict. He knew the dragon clans were feudal and strict, but they took care of their own. For Coraline to be here, alone and destitute, something catastrophic must have occurred. "Tell me," he said softly, the way he used to when they'd stayed up late talking about everything and nothing. Coraline's golden eyes filled with tears that evaporated into tiny wisps of steam before they could fall, a reminder that dragon blood still flowed through her veins. Even if she seemed powerless now. "After I left you, I returned to the clan. My father, he arranged a marriage to unite our clan with the obsidian dragons. I refused." Jox's jaw tightened. He remembered her father, a proud and cruel man who valued tradition above all else. "When I wouldn't comply," she continued, her voice barely above a whisper, "he declared me in dragon society, that's worse than death. It means you're stripped of your powers, your inheritance, your very identity." They performed the ritual of severance. She pulled back her sleeve, revealing intricate scars that glowed faintly blue, the mark of a dragon whose connection to their ancestral magic had been cut. Jox felt rage building in his chest. "How long have you been like this?" 3 years, Coraline admitted. "I've been surviving on the streets, doing odd jobs, trying to keep a low profile. If the obsidian dragons found me, they'd kill me for the insult of refusing their offer." Without thinking, Jox reached out and took her cold hand in his. "Come with me." She pulled back sharply. "No, I won't be your charity case. I won't be pitied by the man I walked away from." "This isn't pity," Jox said firmly. "And you didn't just walk away. You left because I was too stubborn to see that my work was destroying us. You left because I chose hunting criminals over building a life with you. I've regretted it every single day since." Coraline stared at him, searching his face for any sign of deception. "Why would you help me after what I did?" "Because, despite everything, I never stopped loving you," Jox said, the words coming out raw and honest. And because you deserve better than this. Let me help you, Coraline, not as charity, but as someone who still cares. For a long moment, she sat in silence, the rain continuing to pour around them. Finally, she nodded, so slightly he almost missed it. Jocks helped her to her feet, supporting her weight as they made their way through the streets to his apartment. It wasn't much, a small loft above a ramen shop, but it was warm and dry. He set her up in his bed, gave her clean clothes, and made her soup while she bathed. When she emerged, wrapped in his old robe, she looked more like the Coraline he remembered, though her eyes still carried the weight of her suffering. I have a lead, Jock said as she ate. A contact in the underground markets. There are rumors of a ritual, an ancient one, that can restore a dragon's severed powers. It's dangerous and probably illegal, but Jocks, no, Coraline interrupted. I can't ask you to risk everything for me again. You're not asking. I'm offering. He sat down across from her. I spent 5 years running from what I felt, from what I lost. I'm not running anymore. Tears, real tears, this time slid down Coraline's cheeks. What if it doesn't work? What if I can never be who I was? Jocks reached across the table and took her hand. Then we figure it out together. You don't need dragon powers to be worthy, Coraline. You never did. As the night deepened and the rain finally began to ease, they sat together in the quiet apartment, two broken souls finding solace in each other's presence. Jocks knew the road ahead would be difficult, finding the ritual, keeping Coraline safe from those who wanted her dead, rebuilding trust between them. But as he looked at her, seeing the flicker of hope returning to those golden eyes, he knew one thing with absolute certainty. He had found her again, and this time, he wouldn't let her go. The devastation he'd felt upon seeing her on that street had transformed into something else: determination, purpose, and the fierce desire to right the wrongs of their past. Whatever came next, they would face it together.